Funky Politics.
Funky Politics Education Reform Series is presented by the National Civil Rights Museum, sponsored by Memphis Education Fund and Southwest Tennessee Community College. We'd like to thank our media partner, Chalkbeat Tennessee.
You're listening to Funky Politics, powered by the Kazuki Network. You got your boy DC here on the mic. Doc Ward, what's up, bro?
What's up is Robert Jackson. That's what's up.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, speaking of Robert Jackson, let me tell y'all folks, Robert Jackson's on this program today. This guy is an author, a noted author and world travel speaker and consultant. He's written a series of books or a curriculum called No More Excuses. I like the way I said that. No More Excuses.
That's sort of like my motto for you.
What?
No more excuses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, the No More Excuses. Black Men Stand Up. No More Excuses, a workbook. No More Excuses, Solutions to Educating Black and Latino Males.
The No More Excuses series.
Wow. This is a deep book. Robert Jackson, welcome to the program, sir. How are you?
Hey, doing great, gentlemen. How you doing this evening?
Man, we're glad to have you here. We got some deep stuff to talk to you about now.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
No more excuses.
No More Excuses.
Yeah.
No more excuses, brother. Let's get it right.
Speaking of No More Excuses, Donald Trump called me today, and he said he likes Betsy DeVos, and she's his choice for Secretary of Education.
And just like you, he called you after everybody else in the world knew who his choice was, and he told you. You are like the Juneteenth black man. You get everything late.
Brother Jackson, do not listen to this guy. He's one of those people. He's a biliary person. I think he was a consultant. But anyway, no, seriously. Betsy DeVos is she just went through confirmation hearings on the Senate side, and my good friend Lamar Alexander kind of rushed her on through there, and looks like she may be anointed or appointed here at some point. He ushered her on through here. Yeah. What do you see this school choice charter?
This administration going.
Where do you see it going?
Right.
I see it as a disaster.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. That's like having a tennis player going out playing in the championship game this weekend in the NFL.
Wow.
I mean, it's two different playing fields. I mean, why are you bringing in folks who have no idea what the problem is, but they have all the solutions?
Wow.
I mean, has this lady even been in some of the inner city schools? Has she even been in Chicago? You know, so we need to have folks in place who understand the problem. Therefore, they got to understand viable solutions. Tomorrow's going to be a day of mourning for me.
Wow.
When Obama and them leave the White House, man, because, you know, you're talking about 8 years. Nobody's praising his brother. 8 years, no scandals.
Yeah.
No cheating on your wife. This man is teaching, brothers, this is how you're supposed to treat your wife. This is how you're supposed to conduct yourself as a family man. And you put somebody in office who openly admits that he likes to grope women. He don't respect women. He doesn't respect culture. He doesn't respect, he's causing a lot of racial issues. He's saying, hey, if he don't agree with me, punch him in the mouth. See that? You remember that guy was running up the stairs and the guy walked over and punched him in the mouth?
Yeah.
He didn't punch the right person. See? Because anyway, we're not going to talk about that in the segment.
Yeah, well, tell us how you really feel about this. The new administration.
We hate it when you hold back. It really hurts the show.
You funky, man. You really funky, bro.
It really hurts the show.
You said get funky with it. Let's get funky, right?
Well, and let's get funky because, as we said at the outset of this thing, education, and this is just in my mind, that education reform is nothing but a colloquialism for how to deal with black people in education. I've always thought that. It's the way I see it. I don't see any of the reforms that people are talking about that are directly affecting non-black or non-brown students.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, not even non-Asian students for that matter. They're affected by it as well. Native American students as well.
That's correct.
And even those with disabilities. But with this appointment, can you talk to us from your standpoint of just how serious having someone that is this perceptively inept at understanding education, how serious that is and how threatening that is to our education system from the federal level?
I think it's very scary because you're talking about cutting funds from, most kids don't eat until they get to school.
Yeah.
And these after-school programs and some of these programs that are teaching life skills are extremely important. Teacher salaries and making sure we have the right teachers in place. and you're talking about cutting budgets, that means jobs are going to be lost. That means programs are going to be lost.
Yeah.
That means that you don't have educators being taught how to educate our kids. I mean, it's scary when you look at it, because you have a person coming in and trying to privatize everything, and it's all about money. Everything is based on how much money can I get now, and that's just not going to cut it when it comes to education. So it's pretty scary right now. But again, as men and women of God, we have to continue to teach, and we got to continue to believe. I do have faith that, you know, we've been through worse storms than
I
this.
tell people all the time.
I don't understand how this brother can come after John Lewis. He's a hero.
I don't know when those worst storms occurred.
You weren't here, but anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't.
You're listening to Funky Politics, powered by the Kazukia Network. We're visiting this evening with Robert Jackson, a noted author and a well-traveled consultant on education and its impact on black and brown boys around the country and the world.
But I guess from my standpoint, I know that when Ronald Reagan was president, one of the things that he wanted to do was dismantle the Department of Education. I think it was a little bit different back then because the Department of Education had just been created under the Carter administration. So you didn't really have a lot of history with it. Do you think that's where we're ultimately headed with what you think Donald Trump's trying to do by appointing this rank novice, and I hate to say it, but it is what it is, to the role of Secretary of Education?
I actually think it's worse than when Reagan was in office.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Reagan halfway had a little sense. He still was,
Oh, wow.
you know, I ain't say he was right. I mean, he took down the Black Panther Party amongst other folks, but it's scary because Donald Trump really don't understand the office. I mean, he wants to live in his tower.
Right.
And he's just appointing his friends. And let me tell you something. When you have friends and family working for you, it don't always work out.
No, it doesn't.
You know, many of you run your own business, and you got your brother or your sister or your cousin coming in. They want to come in late. Well, my cousin owns this, you know. So we have to make sure that we're hiring the right people for the right jobs. And I just think I don't understand his process of picking these folks.
Well,
I mean, this lady doesn't have a clue.
It's a well-known, very scientific process known by most political analysts as eeny, meeny, miny. Mo.
That's the scientific process he used. I'm not going to buy into that. I think it was a little bit more deliberate. I hope it was more deliberate than that. But,
oh, man.
But when it comes to education, and we know that the federal mandates are out there, ESSA has been newly implemented, and she's going to be responsible for the Civil Rights Division under the Education Department. And they have over the last, I would say at least the last 8 years, have insisted that there's a certain amount of rights that are afforded our young people. Do you think, and I know this is a loaded question, do you think she's going to support that?
I don't, personally. You know, then you got Ben Carson. I think he's over housing and HUD now. And wasn't he a pediatric doctor?
He was a pediatric neurosurgeon.
Pediatric neurologist, yes,
neurosurgeon. Yes.
I'm very concerned. And, you know, as most of the country is, I'm anxious to hear. You know, I don't like to judge. I want to hear first. And what I've heard so far is pretty scary.
Well, you're listening to Funky Politics, powered by the Kazukia Network. We're visiting this evening with Robert Jackson, noted author and widely traveled consultant, focusing on issues in education among our black and brown boys.
But from that standpoint, though, how do we keep the ship moving, though? Because, I mean, it's one thing for all of us to
move.
We get to hunker down like cattle do before the storm comes, and just let the storm come and just get rained on. But we've got to keep this thing going because in the meantime, you know, you've got work to do, Dr. Jackson, and I'm calling you Dr. Jackson because you deserve it. You've got to keep the good work going regardless of who's in that seat. So
and you just said it. That's what we got to do. We got to keep going. I was talking the day after Donald Trump was announced the winner. Right. I had to go speak in the school district, and I walked in there. It was like a morgue. I mean, it was whites and blacks in there. It was like a morgue in there. Nobody knew what to say.
Now I got to cut you off right now. Were you in Indiana when you were doing this?
No.
Okay. I was just wondering because of your vice president and everything.
No, I wasn't in Indiana. I was actually in Texas.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Another favorable state.
Well, so I was in Texas. So an educator asked me, well, you know, what are we going to do now? I said, we're going to continue to do what we was doing yesterday.
Yeah. Right.
I said, how many times did Donald Trump or Obama come to your school? I said, just because somebody's in office, we still have work to do.
Absolutely.
And we got work on the ground level, and we got to continue to teach from where we are. And like I said, when I said going back, we didn't have much, but we still made it.
Yeah.
We still can do that today.
So how do we get the resources to be able to do some of the innovative things that we have just talked about, as far as the inner city all-male schools, potentially the boarding schools, alternative teaching methods, and the other things that can help educate, and ultimately save and get the most productivity out of our young black and brown boys.
And don't forget resources
Right.
to help with the training of these educators. Because I think Dr. Jackson is saying one of the major issues we've got is we've got these educators in classrooms who don't know that child.
How do we get
Don't know
them?
their experience.
And I'm not just talking about the money. How do we get those resources? How do we galvanize that in a Trump and DeVos administration or era?
Well, the same way we did, or the same way our ancestors did. I mean, we're getting funky with it. They took all the scraps and made chitlins.
Wow.
You know, we got to take the scraps that we dealt, and we have practical solutions for educating our young people. Practical solutions. But it starts with practical solutions to help our educators educate our young people.
Right.
So, and like you said, it don't cost a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so telling somebody, look, you need to rethink this way, or you need to ask this question, or you need to probe this way. That doesn't cost you a whole lot, but it does take time to teach. So we need to increase our professional development. We need to continue to have classes teaching, and I think that's what we're lacking right now. I mean, everybody's running around scared. Continue to teach. Continue to do what you've been doing to get here.
Right.
You are listening to Funky Politics, powered by the Kazuki Network. We're visiting this evening with Robert Jackson, a noted author and a widely traveled consultant, on the issue of education and its impact on our black and brown males.
This is DC and Doc Ward talking to you about the great opportunity available for you at Southwest Tennessee Community College.
You can get a business degree. You can open doors to a wide range of opportunities. Engineering and information technicians are in demand to help power manufacturing and logistics. And paralegal studies, man, those majors are in big demand right now. Register now for spring classes starting January 17th. Call 901-333-4399. A wide range of programs for the most in-demand careers are just another reason. Southwest Tennessee Community College is your best choice.
In Memphis, there are 116,000 very important young minds. 20,000 of them attend schools in the bottom 5%.
The Memphis Education Fund partners with committed organizations to give these students access to an equitable education.
Their partners work to operate quality schools, recruit, retain, and develop effective teachers and leaders, ensure community voice, and support the needs of the whole child in Shelby County's priority schools.
This is the story of a great people, of hopes and dreams, of challenge and change. It's an American story. The story and struggle that started many centuries ago lives today in the halls and on the walls of the renovated National Civil Rights Museum. Enter the Supreme Court Halls of Justice, sit with Rosa Parks on the Montgomery bus, hear Mahalia Jackson sing at the March on Washington. Plan now to visit the National Civil Rights Museum at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. For more information, log on to civilrightsmuseum.org.